Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor, and you just never know what you can accomplish in social media and on Twitter and on YouTube. But guess what? Charles Gasparino last night or yesterday afternoon, he went on to Fox Business and did a complete expose on all this that we've been talking about. So there's a lot of people out there that deserve a lot of credit, the John Deatons of the world, and a lot of people in XRP and Ripple social media. There's a lot of people out there that deserve a lot of credit for sticking with it and making sure that the truth was eventually picked up. He's now picked it up, and I'm going to play you the whole segment. If you've seen it on other channels, that's fine. Watch it again and again and again, because it took a while to get here. But first, before I show it, I want to remind you of some of the people who knew about this and did not cover it because we put it in front of them probably thousands of times, and they did not cover it and refused to cover it, would not even comment on it. Julia Chatterley, who I thought would have been the one to pick it up, ignored it. Jim Cramer ignored it. Andrew Ross Sorkin. Jim Cramer and Andrew Ross Sorkin and CNBC, they didn't just ignore it. I think they hired Jay Clayton to come on and never ask him any questions about it. CNN ignored it. Financial Times ignored it. Not only did they ignore it, they did a feature article in the middle of it on Joseph Lubin and how he's a Wall Street whisperer. New York Post ignored it. New York Times ignored it. And of course, all the CNBCs ignored it. Okay? So you should ask them all, and I made sure that I put this in front of them, because when you start seeing them try to cover it to cover their behinds, remind them that they ignored it when they were trying to let this not get out. That's what it means when you ignore something and you know it's a story. This isn't just a story. It's the financial news story of the century, and they knew that too. So here we go. Here is the one truth teller. He's the official, honest, mainstream financial media reporter of the Digital Asset Investor channel, Charles Gasparino.
All right, it is a question the government has yet to answer. Is crypto a currency or a security, some type of different investment? And what the Securities and Exchange Commission concludes with Ripple XRP could set the rules going forward for the entire crypto world. Let's get to Charlie Gasparino joining us now on what's at stake, not just for XRP, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big case, and I'll tell you why, Liz. Not only is the SEC suing Ripple, saying that it issued XRP illegally without registering them as securities, thus its whole operation is essentially illegal, more or less. I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of what they're saying. Some of the XRP holders are now suing the SEC as well, saying that the SEC is applying different standards to different players, accusing some SEC officials of benefiting other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum as they do business with Ethereum. That's in some of these documents. It's and I'm going to be reporting more about this in days and weeks ahead. This is
You're damn right.
Wild case of holders of XRP suing the SEC. So when this whole ball of wax unwinds, I know a lot of people I speak to say that it's going to be, we're going to get some determination on the future of the SEC's enforcement, how far it could crack down, what is a currency, what isn't, and maybe, just maybe, Congress gets involved in this and sorts this stuff out, because what we have right now is a mess. Let's look at it this way, Liz. And this is what the XRP...
Let's make sure everybody understands who created the mess. Jay Clayton dropped this lawsuit as he walked out the door. He literally dropped this lawsuit, and then he left the SEC. And he also, Charles, if you're listening, Jay Clayton then went to One River, which primarily invests in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they had invested heavy in both of those, my understanding is, before he arrived. That's important too. Ah, shoot. Didn't mean to do that.
All right, it is a question the government has yet to...
Let's go to here.
It issued that the SEC is applying different standards to different players, accusing some SEC officials of benefiting other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum as they do business with Ethereum.
Oh, I think it's worse than that, folks.
In some of these documents, and I'm going to be reporting more about this in days and weeks ahead. This is a pretty wild case of holders of XRP suing the SEC. So when this,
remember, the SEC's number one mission when they were created is to protect investors, and they're being sued by the investors. Thousands of the investors. John Deaton has a class action lawsuit to sue them on behalf of the people that they're claiming they protect. One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Ball of wax unwinds. I know a lot of people I speak to say that it's going to be, we're going to get some determination on the future of the SEC's enforcement, how far it could crack down, what is a currency, what isn't, and maybe, just maybe, Congress gets involved in this and sorts this stuff out, because what we have right now is a mess. Let's look at it this way, Liz, and this is what the XRP people and the Ripple people will tell you. Ethereum was created back in 2014. It issued securities to create Ethereum.
Yeah, yes, they had an ICO. They called it a pre-sale, and Joseph Lubin, in many videos you can see, he said you got to use certain words, and he said you don't use ICO because it rhymes with IPO. That's what he said. So it's I guess words mean things to him, right?
Like Ripple, it issued securities, in their case XRP.
Actually, they didn't. This part he's got wrong. Ripple did not issue XRP. A company called OpenCoin created XRP, and then later Ripple was formed, and that some of the XRP, my understanding, was gifted to Ripple. So Ripple didn't even put out XRP
to create Ripple. That does, but Ethereum has been given the green light. It could keep working.
What he meant was the free pass.
It didn't register any of this stuff. Ripple, as you know, is being sued.
And this is one of the most absurd parts of the Bill Hinman speech when he's talking about how Ethereum has the green light. One of the most absurd parts of the Bill Hinman speech was where he said something to the effect of, well, setting aside that Ethereum had an ICO, or setting aside that they had a pre-sale, now they're not a security. In other words, if I murdered someone, well, setting aside that he murdered someone a few years back, he's now not a murderer. I mean, it's absurd on its face, and everybody knows it.
What's the difference between Ripple and Ethereum? Well, the SEC would say Ripple is still building out its platform. The Ethereum platform is built out. The stuff is now trading like any other commodity, not a security.
And that's not true either. XRP is built out. The XRP ledger is built out. Ethereum is not built out. Ethereum 2.0, that's part of what I think this thing's all about, is to hold XRP off. But XRP is the better product, and everybody knows it. Proof of work doesn't work. The whole Ethereum platform right now, as it is proof of work, which does not work. It's too slow. Look at the Ethereum gas fees. Everybody knows this. They're shooting towards Ethereum 2.0. But the freaking infrastructure is not built out for Ethereum. And everybody knows that too.
Used to build something where you get...
And by the way, when I'm correcting these things, I'm not criticizing Charles Gasparino. I'm just trying to bring him up to speed. He's just now jumping into this game. I am like flabbergasted and so elated that he is helping out and getting in this and wants to tell the truth, which none of the other traditional media want to do.
Return. There's a lot of gray area here, if you see what I'm saying. And that's where this thing gets really murky. And I think
there's a lot of intentional gray area. That's the other thing you got to point out here. When Gary Gensler is not stupid, when he goes to the microphone, he says, oh, I think it's very clear. No. They're being told it's not clear by Congress people. They're being told, I saw on CNBC yesterday, the girl from the Chamber of Digital Commerce says that's not true. Everybody in the industry is saying it's not true. Don't think for a second that Gary Gensler and Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman and all these cast of characters know that it's not clear. Hester Pierce is the only one telling the truth about that. They know it's not clear. It's intentionally gray.
The one thing I will tell you is that again, there's a civil case. If it's allowed to proceed, they have taken depositions from SEC officials on this civil case. It's going to be pretty interesting how that works with the SEC's case against Ripple. And Gary Gensler's now, he's the new SEC chairman, taking over for Jay Clayton, who launched the Ripple case. Gensler's going even further. He's going after Coinbase and other issues. So other crypto entities. So this is really big here. And I think
this isn't just big, it's the greatest, it's the biggest financial news story in the history in the last century.
An adult in the room has to come down and lay out regulations that are,
in other words, Gary Gensler is not an adult, so we've got to get one who can make this right.
That are some sort of, that are consistent, that we don't have regulation by enforcement, because this business is too big. It's $3 trillion. There's a lot of major players in it. I know tons of hedge funds, like major player hedge funds. We're not, these are serious people that are in it. The blockchain technology.
Folks, listen, Charles, listen to me. I've watched this for over 3 years now, and you listen good. Bitcoin, proof of work, Bitcoin, and proof of work, Ethereum, are both major inferior technologies to the XRP ledger, and everybody knows this. This was done, I'm telling you, and I'm not saying who did it, I don't know who did it, but this was a coordinated effort. There's a reason that they have been marketing this technology, proof of work, that they know does not work, that they know is inferior to the XRP ledger all this time. Every time crypto's talked about, that they put these Bitcoin maxis or Ethereum maxis on there to talk about it, or combinations of those. It's almost as if XRP was intentionally put in timeout to let some of these catch up. But make no mistake, the Ethereum infrastructure is not built out. That's a load of crap, and more on that in a minute.
Which is the heart of the whole business. The tokens fund the blockchain, which makes transactions, is considered something that is revolutionary, or could be revolutionary. It needs to develop. The only way you develop is to set a whole set of rules. You know, maybe the thing is, and I've been speaking with SEC people and former SEC people about it, maybe and they agree that there's a regulatory sort of mishmash here. Maybe, and they've raised this, that the president's working group on cryptocurrency could act as an Uber regulator.
And I don't know,
this.
Charlie. And I don't know if Ripple investors believe that the SEC is going to be successful. That crypto is up right now 4.7%. But over the past year, the return is 408%.
Yeah, you know, listen, they don't have a bad case, according.
That's because everybody knows this is a sham.
As I speak to, look at it this way: Ethereum was created, right? The Ethereum blockchain was created. They used financing to do that. They sold some crypto, some token. Can't remember.
No, they sold the Ethereum token in the pre-sale
when Ether came out later, as you know.
No, Ether, and again, I'm not trying to correct him to be ugly. I'm just saying that we're trying to bring him up to speed. It was an Ether pre-sale is what it was. And don't worry, Charles, I'll make sure you have everything you need to have on the Ethereum pre-sale so you can show it to the world.
The SEC says that Ethereum is not, and those tokens are not, that are trading now, are not securities, because the creation of Ethereum is old, and now they just trade out there like commodities.
Wrong. Not only is the creation of Ethereum old, they're having to transition it to an entirely new system, Ethereum 2.0, because they know that Ethereum proof of work is not scalable. They've known it since its inception. This was the plan.
That standard is almost the same thing with Ripple. The only thing different is the SEC is saying Ripple is still building out its technology.
When it's exactly the opposite.
There's some real gray area here. And by the way, Hester Pierce has it right. They probably should do a safe harbor and then try to get a president's working group to be the Uber regulator here.
Well, it is.
Okay. So how awesome is that? Now, let's go to this. The other day, this is important too. The other day, John Deaton had made me aware of these this letter by the SEC. It provides, he's talking about how it provides names of personnel that were involved in this, but it's also got dates of who was meeting or who was having phone calls with the SEC. So I went and looked at them, and it's also absurd that they have blacked out most of this. There is no telling what's under those blackouts, and this is the SEC saying, oh, well, that's either attorney-client privilege or some kind of privileged information. I mean, that's red flag city for me. But the things that we could see, just the things that we could see. Here's one of my things. Hey, Charles Gasparini and John Deaton. The heavily redacted notes show consensus meeting with SEC on June 8, 2018. 6 days before Bill Hinman gives his Ethereum free pass speech. The parts you can see are unbelievable. Imagine what's blacked out. So I decided, when you present something the right way, it makes all the difference. So what I did is I decided to go through those documents in between all the blacked out stuff and lay the dates of how all this happened out and who was meeting with the SEC, just to open your eyes a little bit. So these are the SEC meetings calls from that document John Deaton provided. In December of 2017, now they've got two separate things in there. It says in December 2017, Joseph Lubin, he created Consensus, but it said, and then it says 12/13/2017 Consensus. I don't know if that was the same meeting because they didn't give a specific date on when he was there. So, but then March 2017. Actually, I don't know if that's I think that's 2018. Don't quote me. I think I made a mistake there. April 2018, the 10th, CFTC meets with him. 4/23/18, Consensus meets with them. 6/8/18, Consensus. 6/24. So that you've got Consensus all over this leading up to the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. Then, right after that, CFTC, and then in September, they have Ripple in just to talk to them about the ongoing investigation into Ripple. You see what I'm saying here, folks? And there's something else. I'm drawing a blank here. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. There was another point I wanted to make about this. Let's see. So in this, remember Joseph Lubin in December, and remember they created the Brooklyn project, I believe, in November of 2017. And remember the video, what started all this? Charles Gasparino from May 10th, 2018. Charles Gasparino was covering this story, and he said he had a source, Andrew, at the Brooklyn Consensus or the Brooklyn project. He says Andrew, his source, said that the whole point of this was to be SEC sanctioned. Then in his video, he said that they were working with both the SEC and the CFTC. So you see it here now. So after all of this, and then after the Hinman speech, and then Ripple's being investigated, so you can kind of put that together in your mind. Well, I think this video is important to watch because this is after Ethereum has gotten its free pass. It wasn't enough for Joseph Lubin to take his free pass. He had to gloat. He had to say, well, yeah, they didn't do this for Ripple, and I think just listen to this clip. This is after Ethereum has gotten their free pass.
So we are big friends and fans of
the SEC.
Of that organization. I think they're really understanding the space well. They are applying this thing called securities law to business in America and other places, as they have done for many decades successfully. They're identifying fraudulent projects. They're identifying obvious transgressions of securities law, but they haven't had a heavy touch, really. They've been gathering information. They've been taking some actions. They've been very clear that they understand there is this new construct, this protocol-based open platform.
So you think they get it?
Yeah, we believe they get it. They've introduced a new construct, decentralization, into their thinking. So in addition to the Howey test...
Now take note, all he talks about is decentralization. The whole core of the Bill Hinman speech was that Ethereum was a security, but now it's not, because now it's fully decentralized, which If you look at Charles Gasparino's, he said he talked to the SEC enforcement yesterday. They completely abandoned that decentralization talk in that tweet. And now they say it's because Ripple's infrastructure has not been built out, but Ethereum's has. That is not the reason that they said Ethereum was getting a free pass. Never was. It was decentralization. Now they're changing it.
They have this new construct that they're seeing certain things in. So they consider the Bitcoin network and token and issuance mechanisms. They consider the Ethereum network token and issuance mechanisms to be decentralized, and therefore no transactions involving those particular assets are considered to be transactions of securities. They have not said the same thing about other tokens, the Ripple token, for instance, and they were clear that they were going to come out with statements to sort of assess these different tokens, and I believe they've made all the statements about decentralization that they're going to make. And so,
how does he know that? How does he know he believes? Why? How does he know that they've made all the statements they're going to make? And why is he so giddy and has to gloat about Ripple not being included? How does he know they haven't included Ripple in this? I mean, they haven't included them right now yet, but how does he know what is going on with Ripple as far as the SEC is concerned? These are the kind of questions Charles Gasparino needs to jump on. Then, this morning, this was yesterday. This is when I was telling you about earlier, where he says it's the company's infrastructure still being built. And that's what the SEC said yesterday. That was never. That is, if it's infrastructure now, then they need to go back and delete the Bill Hinman speech and declare Ethereum a security. If this is what they're going with now, because that's bull. That is never what the thing was. The only thing that makes any sense about why they would change their whole tune on this is that this thing is over and there's a settlement done. Because if you change your argument right now, these Ripple attorneys are going to be all over that in front of that judge. I think there's got to be. Okay. This morning, Charles Gasparino tweets this. I mean, this thing gets more and more interesting. Legal sources tell Fox Business the next year will be crucial to cryptocurrency regulation. SEC enforcement cases against Ripple and possibly Coinbase. GOP lawmakers now asking Gary Gensler to provide some uniform framework for his regulation and whether regulation by enforcement is appropriate. Jay Clayton's decision to sue Ripple may have been a staff decision, but staffs will have to explain key differences between Ripple XRP and Ethereum, which has escaped regulatory scrutiny thanks to John. Now, he accidentally reworded. He says, "Get the popcorn ready." That tells me that he's been in there bringing himself up to speed about crypto, because this is a phrase used in crypto when the market starts booming. Get popcorn ready. But this line interests me right here. Jay Clayton's decision to sue Ripple may have been a staff decision. Boy, all we've ever wanted is a level playing field. I want the whole industry to do well, and that includes, even though I don't like some of this, it includes Ethereum, it includes Bitcoin. I want everybody to do well. All we've ever wanted is a level playing field. Ryan Zagon from Ripple said it a long time ago when he was on stage with some Bitcoin maxis. He said, look, Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, they're going up in price only because they've been given this quasi-clarity. If you gave that same clarity to XRP and some of these other digital assets that are better technology and would be better technology for this country and the world, it would be a totally game changer. And that's what I think this was all about. Charles Gasparino, that's what this was all about. There was I don't know who's behind it, but there was a concerted effort to put XRP in the corner and stop it so that some of these lesser technologies could get a foothold. That's what this is about. I'm the digital asset, but actually, let me show you something. By the way, SEC is suing Ripple because they're saying XRP is a security. Well, this is Ripple equity, which would be private equity, a security, okay? This is what Link2 is saying. Link2 is one of my sponsors. Link2 has Ripple private equity for sale on their platform. They've got a little bit more. It usually sells pretty quick, but they've got a little bit more. They've also got some Uphold, some Kraken, some Link2. Go check it out. You got to be an accredited investor, and you'll have to look into that. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that all we've ever wanted is a level playing field. I do not want to make videos talking about Ethereum all the time. I do not. And the second this thing is over and everybody starts doing the right and honest thing, I'm out of here. As far as I just want to go back to talking about digital assets.